Are you ready for adventure? Today we're going up to check out our camping areas up around Idaho City. See if the snow is cleared enough to get up there and do some actual outdoor bushcraft stuff. So stand by for the trip. Crossing the Boise River Bridge at the moment. It looks pretty high. This area around here is called Harris Ranch. And I have seen this land underwater before when the Boise River flooded. Apparently when they built these houses, they remediated some of the risk for flooding. But it's well within the floodplain for the Boise River. Now we're on Warm Springs. And this all used to be farmland out here not all that long ago. Now it's built up quite a bit. Schools, apartments, stuff going up all over the place. This is the way up to Idaho City, and we'll be headed that direction. Here's a local landmark from the Oregon Trail days. Another one. Way over there is what the sign's talking about, where the Oregon Trail used to come down from the lava bluffs. Now we're getting on Highway 21, which is the highway that goes up to Idaho City. It also goes to Stanley, and right now that part of the highway is closed up there from Lowman to Stanley due to avalanche danger. This is the diversion dam where water from the Boise River goes into the New York Canal system. And along here is part of a green belt where people can walk or ride bicycles. And they are letting water out of the dam like crazy, so we may be able to see what they call the rooster tail at the bottom of the dam when we get up that way. If it's going, I'll stop and show that. This is Lucky Peak Dam. One of, if not the largest earth-filled dam in the western United States, Pacific Northwest. Down the canyon there you can see where, way out there, that's where they're letting water out at the base of the dam to go into the Boise River. This is Hilltop Summit, and you can see the snow is still sitting in the mountains over there, and we're going up that direction, so I don't know how far we'll be able to get. I'm sure we'll be able to get to Idaho City if we want to, but as far as getting into camping areas up there, I don't think that's going to happen. This is the high bridge over Lucky Peak Lake, and we're about 200 or 300 feet above the water. Heading on up to Idaho City. Somewhere around 10 miles from home right now, entering Boise County from Ada County. There you can see how the snow is hanging in here on the east and north facing slopes. And right here we're not too much above, 3,400 feet above sea level, something like that. This is the Moores Creek area. Moores Creek is off to our left, and it's running pretty high. It's only about 3 feet below the level of the road, maybe 2 feet. Been a while since I saw it running that high. This time of the year is time for avalanches and rock slides up in this area. And I've seen a few places along the right-hand side of the road where already they have cleared some rock slides, mud slides, and a few minor avalanches. There's not enough snow up above the road here to really warrant much concern for avalanches right now, but earlier in the winter there was. So here we are entering into Idaho City, at least the outskirts. We just passed a sign on the side of the road said the temperature outside was 52 Fahrenheit, and that's what the car thermometer says for the outside air temperature. So the snow is probably rather rapidly melting. Still, there's a lot of it on the ground here. And we passed one of my favorite camping areas, and there was no getting in there. It's too much snow, which is what I thought. On the left over here is Trudy's Kitchen, one of my favorite places to go once in a while for breakfast. And it's pretty packed right now. Not surprised. And here is essentially the heart of Idaho City. Idaho City used to be one of the biggest cities in Idaho during the gold rush times in the 1860s. I think it had more people here living here than any other city in the state. It was a territory back then, but in fact I think it was the territorial capital for a short time. So this is the road to Stanley, and it's closed up here about 30 miles ahead at Loman. We're not going that far. There's one more camping area that I like to go to. Not a campground, but an area where you can go up into the mountains and make your own camp. And I just want to see if the road is even open, even to turn in there. We just passed the road, and it's looking pretty muddy and snowy in there. There was a four-wheel drive sitting at the turnoff. Probably some people in there on snowmobiles. Snow machines, if you will. But there's no getting in there with my car, so the next opportunity I get to turn around and head back, I'm going to do that. Camping up here right now, bushcrafting, out of the question. Probably going to be another month or two at least before these roads are open. So we're just going to look for a turnout or a wide spot in the road. I think we're coming up to one now. Turn around and head on back to Idaho City, which is only 2 miles back behind us, I think. These are snowmobile and park and ski areas here. Obviously, there's not going to be any camping going on, bushcrafting or anything like that. So the sign said 39 miles to Boise. I don't think it's quite that far to our place because we live in the southeast end of Boise. It's probably talking about 39 miles to downtown. But it's right around 32 or so from Idaho City to our front door. So we're going to go back, and there's not going to be any camping or bushcrafting for a while. This is one of my favorite areas to go. That's fairly close to home. Come summertime, we'll make some trips to some of my very favorite areas in central Idaho. Those are drives of around 100 miles or more. We'll go up there, we're going to do some serious overnighters for sure. And back into Idaho City from the opposite direction. There are some interesting things to be seen up here, but that's not the purpose of this drive. I'm going to pull up here for just a second and check the camera. This is where Trudy's is. Great place to eat. And back down the mountain we go. That's the rumble strip. Means I got one wheel on the double yellow line there going around that curve. A little diner and bar up here called the Rocks. Never been in it, but it's been there a long, long time. We're coming up pretty soon to the turnoff to Lucky Peak Marina. I think I may go up there and see what the water level's like. I know the docks and the slips are high and dry right now, but they won't be for very long. Looks like the water's down, what I can see here, probably 100 feet. That will be filling up very shortly. Okay, here we are at Lucky Peak and Spring Shores Marina, and we'll give you a little view of that. There's all the slips and docks. Looks like they're active over there on the one ramp down to the water, and there's the lake. People out there fishing. So the dam is about 2 or 3 miles in that direction, around that corner, and out that way. And right where I'm standing, guess what? That's right. Those look to be elk droppings. And now that I look around in here in the soft dirt and grass, there are some tracks. They're around here. So a year or two ago they had a brush fire in this area. Somebody probably threw a cigarette out the window, took off in the dry grass and burned several thousand acres around here. And it looks like it's recovering pretty well. Some of the older brush is not going to, of course, come back, but it's filling in with grass quite nicely. Up ahead on the left you might be able to see one arm of the lake. This comes up this canyon here on the left and is fed by Moore's Creek, which is one of the primary water sources for this particular lake. We're going to drive across the top of the dam and go over to the other side where the year-round boat ramp is operating. People come up here on New Year's Day and go water skiing, called the Polar Bear Club. A bunch of them jump in the water and swim. Alright, we're driving across the top of the dam right now. Speed bump. And this road will take us to the other boat ramp. And there is the canyon of the Boise River below the dam. There's a picnic area down there and a swimming beach, and you can fish. We'll be going down that way in just a minute. Hopefully I'll get a shot of the discharge tubes, water coming out of the dam. They're letting it out at a good clip right now. are back on the Oregon Trail, otherwise known these days as Boise Avenue. Just about back home again. Coming up on our little street. Oftentimes at night see deer crossing the road back and forth here. And I've even seen them in some of these yards on our street before. I saw two really nice bucks grazing in the front yard of one of these houses of our neighbors. No camping and no bushcraft for a while. There's too much snow up there. Thanks for going along.